Today I'm introducing the new biomarkers. I'm introducing the new biomarkers in the Egyptian Society of Medical Doctors, Laboratory Medicine, and so on, which can help the lab medicine deliver a better service to the clinical physicians, to the intensive care doctors, and to the general population as a whole. As you have seen, you have been there, and I came in. It seems that some people are coming specifically to listen to me. The hall was completely full. They all stayed the whole hour and 10 minutes. The kind of questions were very smart. I was very glad with the interaction. I was very glad with the questions, which showed that the doctors were attentive. They listened to what I said, and I answered, I hope, in a way which they very positively receptive to. The two biomarkers which I bring today are very important for the Egyptian doctors as a whole. One is a marker which can diagnose the heart failure, which is very important, and this represents a very big problem, as it represents a very big percentage of the Egyptian populations who are suffering with heart failure, and some of them are admitted to the hospital. Many of them are admitted to the intensive care. You need a biomarker which can tell you which stage the disease is, which is how good the therapy is. And the other biomarker, which is even more important, which is called procalcitonin. The first one is called proBNP for the heart failure, and the other one is called procalcitonin, which is very helpful in diagnosis sepsis, especially bacterial sepsis, which is very prevalent. For example, it's almost between 50 and 90% of the doctors in the intensive care, and there is something called nosocomial infection in the hospital as a whole. These two markers will help all doctors guide the therapy of the patients. It is a very good opportunity. I'm very impressed with the facilities here, the booths, the different companies bringing their state-of-the-art, the latest thing which they have, bringing it and presenting it to the Egyptian doctors. For example, one of the booths is here. It's from one of the companies, and as you see, if you can see the backward view over here, all the biomarkers or the lab tests which are available, and I can only say that the Egyptian doctors now are up to date. What they have at the tip of their fingers is almost what the doctors in the West have. The lab is a very big part of the health service. We should always build our therapy to the patient on our lab as one of the big components of the decision making. That doesn't mean that the clinical sense and the experience of the doctor is out of the question. No, I always say any lab test is as good as the doctor who interprets the data. But you need the lab test for the doctor to interpret. And without this, the doctors will be shooting in the dark. I don't believe in shooting in the dark. It's time that we shoot in the light. And I hope all the patients will have a good recovery. Roche, actually, I'm very glad because these biomarkers, before I came, were very expensive. But then the latest negotiations for Roche is that they are bringing the prices magnificently down so that it would be almost available for every patient in Egypt, that these biomarkers are available. Very cheap, and they are extremely cost effective. If you take the one thing, that the cost of 1 day in the intensive care is between 10,000 Egyptian pounds to 20,000, while one of the tests of Roche here costs only 150 Egyptian pounds compared to 20,000 Egyptian pounds.